What's going on YouTube? I had a request to do a run of Dullahan without any advance or any units after Chow and Xenogears, and so here we are. We're gonna do a run of Dullahan without any units after Chow or Xenogears. Now some of these units are equipped with some stuff from Chow and afterwards, but that's just because it's really hard to gear Taivas for LB damage and Reaper Killer unless you've got Rain and Fina's STMR sword. But let's go ahead and take a look at this team and show you kind of what we're working with, and then we will get into the fight. So Ling is just gonna be passive provoking, and basically just doing passive provoking LB fill and throwing around a lot of Mirage stacks for like the whole fight, just to kind of help the boss miss hit with all of his attacks, because the boss counterattacks anytime that you do something to him, and then this way you can just not have to gear your units for evasion. You can just let them Mirage attacks. Now she happens to have full evasion on both forms, right? But there are some attacks that happen that have 50% accuracy, so there's a chance that she will get hit by attacks in the later stages of the fight. One of the requirements for you to beat this fight does involve you not having any deaths, but the only reward is for a ticket, like just a regular summon ticket, and like it's just not that important. And so if you do happen to die, you lose that ticket. Like boohoo, come back later and do this with units after Chow and after Xenogears, to get that later if you want. This is going to work though. And now we've also got a magic cover tank. Our magic cover tank is only going to spend time in this one form, and has lots of ice and light resistance, which is what you really need to resist all the lice and ice magic. Also worth noting, everybody has some form of stop immunity, because that's important. But otherwise, just high spirit, ice, and light. There you go. Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy are nice because they auto cover when the battle starts. And they can also do some like barriers and LB fill and stuff like that. Healing when we need it, if we need it. Ideally, we don't need it, but there you go. And then we've got a Taivas who's going to just be helping with capping. Again, he's just geared for LB damage and Reaper Killer, and as high attack as I could. He's got stop immunity here. And that's pretty much it. He's got his own Taivas Spirit to try and boost up his damage. Sephiroth's Vision card. Very good. And then our chainers are going to be Tiana, and I have somebody built one for me. Thier Pendragon built one for me, and so we've got this here. We're built fairly similar. In the shift form or in the base form, really it didn't really matter too much, but we do have to have stop immunity, like I said, and then just some whatever stuff. And then the shift form was really important. I asked for throwing weapons so we could take advantage of Tiana's throwing weapon in peril. Again, stop immunity, and then just undead killer. So there we are, magic Reaper Killer. Just go ahead and show you Thier's as well. And Thier, while I'm sitting right here, thank you so much for building your unit for me. Look at that. We both had the same idea. Nice. Basically the same. Okay, ooh, stop immunity. You got double stop immunity. No, you don't. Just the one. Nice. Anyway, there we are. Let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, I'm not too worried about losing Ling. If it happens, it happens. It's only it's like a 50% chance it's going to happen, but we'll try and avoid it if we can. We're going to cover the automatic magic attack, the preemptive magic attack, and she just resists it, and everybody's fine. So, to help us out with some damage, Ling is going to first break the boss, and is going to put up Transcendent Performance to give mitigations, and Refreshing Twirl to give Mirage stacks to the party. Taivas is just going to use his Limit Burst, just to Great Sword Imperil the boss, and just start doing some damage. Tiana's going to do Trouble Brewing. Mine is going to do Flaming Red, Airy Green, Electric Yellow. Nope, sorry, my bad. Mine's going to do Trouble, Flaming, Green, and revitalizing. There we go. And Theirs is going to use Trouble, Flaming, Earthy, revitalizing. There we go. Nice. Taivas is just going to hit this thing once. Okay. Minuscule damage, but that's all right. And then Shoreline Fiend and Days are going to cover. Even though they already have cover, they're going to put up their good cover. That lasts a little bit longer. And Healing Ripples just to try and refill this LB right here. There we go. Turn 2, the boss is going to do some AoE attacks. So to help us with that, we're going to just make sure we're fully protected by using Celestial Dance. But we're also going to put up the Reaper Killer buff. The other good reason why we brought Ling. I'm going to go ahead and, we don't need to rally just yet. We're going to go ahead and, so Reaper Killer, we're going to go ahead and do Fire, even though we don't really need to, and Celestial. There we go. That way Taivas can chain, or cap a chain for us. Here's where Tiana's going to start doing their stuff. It's exciting. Quintuple cast, Unstable Fire. Bring on the damage, please. Quintuple Fire. And we're at 99 here, so let's just go ahead and do a chain. There we go. So we did a significant chunk of damage, and we're only on turn 2. We got a few turns to go. We have 10 turns to do this to get Machine Eater sense. So there we go. Fina and Daisy, they're just going to keep their cover going and use Nereid's Kiss. Actually, they're going to do cover and Lagoon Shell. There's the counterattacks. We dodge them. Counterattacks, hits, trampling charge, AoE hit, magic, ice, lightning, or ice and light, and we're totally fine. Okay, this turn, Ling is going to use her shifted LB to give more Mirage stacks for everybody. Yes. Okay, go ahead and hit reload. My Taivas is EX plus 2, so he's going to use his amp and stuff this turn, because on turn 4 he's going to get his super limit burst. So we're ready for it. These two are just going to chain. We're going to go from 85% to, let's see, 74%. So not too bad for considering we have 7 turns to go. And these two are just going to cover and LB fill. There we go. We did cross the threshold because the threshold's at 80%. Not that big a deal. There we go. There's Taivas' super limit burst. There we are. And I'll go ahead and reload here. And we have 2 more turns of Trouble Brewing going, so we're not going to recast that yet. And let's go ahead and do our damage first. Now, we crossed a big threshold, so Ling, this is where I've been losing Ling when I've done my test runs of this, and I don't believe there's really anything to do. I mean, the boss is going to get accuracy, so I don't think even Mirage is going to help us, but we're going to go ahead and do the Limit Burst here. There we are, and we're also going to go ahead and hit, we're going to do Cover and Revive. That way, if Ling does die, we don't totally ruin the run here. Although we're doing pretty good on damage. You know, we're only on turn 4 and we're already at 35% health. So, here we are. Taking a little bit of damage there. Okay. We're under 90%, so, or under 100%, so we're taking a little bit of ice damage. These guys have one more turn to go before they can use their Imperil again. So we're just going to reload. And Ling is going to rally, Dragon Dancer, and Refreshing. And Taivas is just going to do a regular Limit Burst. So we'll do Rip Current and Marine Wall, just to get the bubbles back up, the HP barrier. And let's go ahead and chain this up one more time. Cool. And our breaks are still in place, although the attack break, our attack and magic break is worn off, so we are going to have to refill some stuff here. So, here we go. We're going to have to, well, we've got a couple choices here. We might be able just to take this guy out with a quad cast. Let's try that. We'll do a quad. Yeah. We'll do a quad Trouble Brewing and triple Unstable Fire. Ling is going to go ahead and Enthrall. Medium Stance. And Dragon Dancer. We'll see if we can do this on turn 6. If not, I'll restart this video. Here we go. So we're gonna wait a little bit on Taivas. So we'll do Taivas. Actually, we'll do the Chainers and then Taivas. So Chainers, Taivas. And there we are. No deaths, 6 turns, party of 5, no deaths, completed it, 10 turns or less. Here's our team. Again, we're building Tiana for magic damage versus Reapers, and Taivas for physical damage, LB damage versus Reapers, Ling for LB fill and evasion and passive provoke. Ice and light resist. Really could have done, you know, they're probably the easiest one to build, but their preemptive cover really helps out a lot. And then just kind of getting lucky there on Ling. Although you know, maybe we didn't get lucky. Maybe using her limit burst there helped us to like evade those deadly spears. But that did it. So let's just get a breakdown and see whose Tiana did more damage. I'm pretty sure Thier's Tiana did a little more damage, which is fine. Let's see it. So close. So close. But Taivas still took the cake. So there it is. There's our clear. You two need to participate in this fight. There's our clear. Okay. So request met. Hopefully that is helpful to somebody who wants to see it. And if you don't have units after Xenogears and Chow, that's a way that you can do this fight. Now, if you didn't have, I did say I would talk a little bit about replacements, because I know that Tiana is a time-limited winter unit. So if you didn't have Tiana, you could just use Yigni. If you and a friend Yigni were going to do this, you could do that with Yigni. You could use really any chainer you want. I just thought it'd be fun to use Tiana because Tiana can quintuple cast, and that would be neat. But you could use any chainer you want. You know, you could use a pair of Louises. I mean, Taivas is doing most of the work. They did contribute quite a bit of damage, but you know, really you just need good chainers and someone to refill the limit burst gauge as much as you possibly can, so that he can just continue capping that fire hit over and over again. If you do have Chow, Chow would be better here, just because Chow has preemptive cover, and can do a lot more support for the party, including like fire support and stuff like that. Ling was a free unit at some point, so hopefully you have her. Plus she's popular for Clash of Wills and stuff like that, and just good overall. If you don't have Ling and you need a passive provoker, really anybody can be a passive provoker, but the issue is she's giving out all those Mirage stacks. So I guess you're probably thinking about, instead of Mirage, maybe building your team for natural evasion instead of using Mirage, which is fine. Stop immunity, if you don't have stop immunity for everybody, Lakshmi can technically give you stop resistance that way, or you could bring Sylvie and Sylvie can do stop resistance, so that's nice. Taivas, if you don't have Taivas, maybe star player Titus could do it. It might take a little bit longer, but if yours is the EX+3, you can get a burst in 3 different times, so maybe that would work. It would take you to turn 9 that way. So lots of options, but hopefully that's helpful. And we will see you guys in the next video, which should be coming out tomorrow, Tuesday Preppers. So we'll see you then. Have a good night. Take care. Be good to each other. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Comment below. See ya.